Next point, Mullahs, which is even more important. Mullahs, your lordships will remember that under paragraph 3 of the 10th schedule, which was deleted later by the 91st Constitutional Amendment, the expression is that if there is a faction in the legislative party arising out of a split in the political party, and that faction represents 1/3 of the legislative party, then that will be a valid defense against a disqualification petition. What it is. So what is the expression used there? I am a faction of the legislative party, resulting from a split in the political party. Right, Manoj? Now, he says that we 34 are the political party. That's his case. He says, I'm not a faction. There's no split. But Manoj, when he goes to the Election Commission, what does paragraph 15 say? That if there are two factions of a political party who claim to be that political party, it doesn't use the word split, then the commission will decide which is that political party. So before you, they say, I am the political party. And before the Election Commission, they say, I am a faction. Because if he is the political party, he need not go to the Election Commission. Why is he going to the Election Commission? He says there's no difference between the legislative party and the political party, which is Malas, a mockery of the 10th schedule itself. Because the whole purpose, Malas, of differentiating was that members of the legislative party will not do acts which amount to voluntarily giving up membership of the party or vote against the whip, which will result in defection. The whole purpose of the 10th schedule is to differentiate between the legislative party and the political party. And the whole argument is there is no difference between the legislative party and the political party. I am the political party. But if you are the political party, why did you move the Election Commission? Well, let's take, for example, 3 people out of 5 belonging to the Congress party. They are a majority. They go to the governor of Goa and say, I am the political party. We're the majority. Topple this government. Numbers are stacked against, government will be toppled. They will never go to the Election Commission. Why? Because there is the Congress party outside. What will the governor do? Governor, you think, on their logic, governor will have to call a trust vote, because the best way, Bomai says, the best way is to find out from a trust vote. All judgments of law are contextual, unless there's an underlying basic principle like basic structure. Otherwise, all judgments are contextual. When your lordships decided on Shivraj Chauhan, the context was what? 22 resignations. Context.
And 6 were accepted.
Yes, 6 accepted. Not only that, 13th of March, governor tells him to hold to call the assembly, which is called on 14th March, and hold the trust vote on the 14th. The chief minister says, no, I adjourned it. He didn't put it in the agenda. He adjourned it to 26th March, if your lordships will remember. So he adjourns it to 26th March. Then the petitions are filed. Say, how have you adjourned it to 26th of March? Because the governor told you, matter comes to this court, and your lordship says, look, this is the best because all those 22 letters of resignation are with the governor. Then your lordship said another thing, which I'll read later to your lordship. Your lordship said, as far as the disqualification is concerned, who stopped you from disqualifying? That's paragraph 82 of your lordship's judgment, where your lordship said this. Nothing stopped the governor, the speaker to disqualify if he wanted to disqualify. But once people have resigned, so it was in the context of 22 resignations, context of 6 of them having been accepted on the 14th of March itself on the advice of the chief minister. Speaker accepts them. And your lordships ask the question, what's the difference between those 6 and the other 16? There's no difference. They have come, the signatures are there, they have given to the governor. What else can we do? And who stopped you from disqualifying? What has Shivraj Chauhan got to do with this matter? There's no bearing. We're dealing with what? We're dealing with 34 people, which is a faction. They can't not say they're not a party, that they are the party. Because they can't be the party. It's a faction. How does the governor recognize a faction? Under what constitutional parameters does the government say, I recognize you? And therefore, I'll call a floor test? It's not a game of numbers. So if you actually hold their submissions to be correct, you're bringing back the regime of Ayagam, Gayaram, because anybody can collect the numbers in the manner that they are collected nowadays, whisk them away to any other state, keep them in comfort, I don't want to use a stronger word. And then let's come back and topple the government. And you will have no recourse. Next is even more important.
You're saying 3/4 is also a split.
Yes. Exactly.
According to you, even 3/4 will be split.
That's correct. That's still a faction. That's why 3 was eliminated. You can't have sort of factions moving out, because we know how these numbers are collected. And I remember, I showed you Kuldeep Nayyar's case, where all that was set out. More important, whereas they have only on the today in court argued that they are the party. Not a single document, right from the 21st of June, till they file the petition. Even there they do not say, till the 19th of July. The whole argument is, I am the party. Where have you said ever that you are the party? Never. Not a single document. This is a mockery, Malaj, that's happening in our country. And I said, Malaj, and I repeat it, it's not about Maharashtra. It's about Meghalaya. It's about Manipur. It is about tomorrow Uttar Pradesh. It is about anything can happen anywhere if you allow this to happen. It's about our future. So, Malaj, they never say that they are the party. Even if that, your ladyship will remember that document on the 28th of June that was read. First of all, Malaj, let me disabuse you of this whole thing about violence. On the 27th, when we moved this court, they moved this court. My learned friend was there. I was not there. On 27th, Malaj, a statement was made by Mr. Kaushik, who was Mr. Chitnis, yes, saying that Mr. Chitnis, learned counsel for the state of Maharashtra, states that adequate steps have already been taken, and the state government has further ensured that no harm is caused to the lives, liberty, and property of the 39 MLAs and their families. This on the 27th, and the governor is arguing, Malaj, on the 28th there was a danger, there will be dead bodies, it will be post-mortem. When on 27th a statement has been made by Mr. Chitnis, who represents the Maharashtra government, under the supervision of the Supreme Court. Can anybody, Malaj, say that, look, dead bodies will be sent for post-mortem? This is a 27th June order. And that was repeated again and again and again. Malaj, if I were to go to the newspaper reports and what they have said in Assam, Malaj, that your lordships are not going to enter into that. And Malaj, the unfortunate part of it, and I say unfortunate, Malaj, deliberately, the very thing that we wanted to prevent happened. When your lordships did not grant us stay, fine, no issue. But we went to the election commission, we told the election commission that, look, these are the very 39 people whose candidature as a member of the Legislative Assembly is subject to the Supreme Court. So please don't decide this matter till that is decided. No state did not mean that you decide no matter what happens. They misinterpreted that order deliberately, not the commission, but the other side. And said, no, Supreme Court has said, no, stay, you have to decide. And then what did the election commission do? On the basis of these 39, they've got the symbol. Only on the basis of these 39. So what are we here today? Today they argue, now we are the party, because you've got the symbol. So Malaj, on 27th of June, we are put in difficulty. 29th of June, we are put in difficulty. And then in September, when your lordships passed this order, they misinterpreted. 27th September. The next point, Malaj, your lordships will have to consider, and I'll be very short, Malaj, tomorrow so that we can finish this quickly. Next point is, Malaj, they have been saying that under the mandatory rules, 7 days notice ought to be given. Correct, Malaj? How many days notice have they got now? They've not filed reply till date. 9 months? And Malaj, I asked myself this question. When this court said, don't file your reply till the 12th of July, was it 7 days? Is it fair of the court, I'm sorry to say, if that is the mandatory rule, then you should have said 7 days from the date? Shorter period? 12 days, and that also in the interim. And 9 months have passed. And then Mira's argument is this is a fait accompli. See the arithmetic. Even if the 16 had been disqualified, you would still be in minority. And I think Mr. Salve was right. That's all speculation. What would have happened, what would not have happened. Maybe the others would have voted in our favor. But that's all speculation. Your lordships are not concerned about that. What the arithmetic is. And see the injustice caused to us, Mullahs, in this process. So they don't file a reply. Now they say, go back to the speaker. And Mullahs, there is no one fact which is not admitted on both sides. That they have 34, majority in the legislative party, admitted. We don't deny it. That they were sitting in Assam, they admit. That they sent that resolution throwing out Sunil Prabhu, they admit. That they appointed Gogavale, they admit. And whereas what's interesting is in that resolution that they sent where your lordship said the only two prayers that are made are that Gogavale is appointed. But see the language as far as Eknath Shinde is concerned. He continues to be the leader. The word continue. But how did they realize that the word continue has to be used? Because we had removed him on 21st. And on 22nd, they dated the letter 21st and sent it to the speaker, received by the speaker on the 22nd at 11:30 a.m. So they knew that Eknath Shinde had been removed. Otherwise, they would have said that Eknath Shinde is the leader. But they said, no, Eknath Shinde continues to be the leader. And they backdated that document. So, that's not disputed. That we called a meeting on the 21st, 22nd, not disputed. We told them if you don't attend, consequences will follow, not disputed. On 24th, we had a council meeting, not disputed. They said, but nobody called the council meeting, we'll hold a parallel meeting of our own, not disputed. What is disputed? That on the 28th, the governor received these documents which have been placed before your lordships, not disputed. That he called for a floor test, not disputed. That he resigned, the chief minister, then chief minister resigned, not disputed. That he went to the governor along with Mr. Fadnavis, not disputed. That he was sworn in, not disputed. That there was a trust vote and we issued a whip, not disputed. That they voted against the whip, not disputed. What is disputed? Nothing is disputed. From the beginning to the end, Mullahs, the whole process is clearly political. Clearly political. And whereas I want to know, your lordship knows about it, that a whip is appointed at the instance of the political party and conveyed to the speaker. That's conveyed to the speaker. How is the governor talking about the whip being Gogavale? He's talking about Gogavale being the whip in his communications. He's not concerned with it. That's a matter of the House.
Governor spoke of not
Gogavale. Gogavale being the whip.
Spoke of leader of the house, right?
That also. How is he?
He was the whip.
I think also leader of the House.
Leader of the house, Shinde.
Yes. Now, how is he concerned with it? He is not there to appoint the leader of the House or to recognize. Yes. He says a purported appointment of Ajay Chaudhary is illegal. How is he concerned with this? See all this, the letter that he is sending to Uddhav Thackeray.
Governor's letter?
Yes. Governor is saying all this.
You're referring to para 3.
Yes, para 3.
That is his letter to Uddhav Thackeray.
Yes. Yes.
For holding the trust.
So why is he? Yes,
Trust
correct.
Correct.
Correct. And he's saying all this. How is he concerned? And if they continue to be the Shiv, I'm grateful to your lordship when your lordship asked. If he is the Shiv Sena, then where is the loss of confidence? There's no loss of confidence then. What he's doing is he's recognizing 34 people to be a faction. And on the basis of that recognition, then determining that there should be a trust vote. That's what he's doing. The fact of the matter is in law, he cannot recognize.